Hi everyone, this review might have a bit of a different feel to it, just as Mango Bay does itself. If you're seriously considering a trip to Phu Quoc, or Vietnam in general though, I highly recommend you take this tour with us, no matter what your budget is. Mango Bay Resort is a 3-star resort on the east coast of Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. Please don't let that 3-star rating fool you though. Had I not known about Mango Bay before arriving, I would tell you it's a 5-star eco resort, point blank. More details on that coming up. The resort is located around 12 kilometers from the airport, and they offer a free or paid transfer depending on the number of nights that you're staying. The reception area, connected to the small road only by a walking path, ensures that the resort truly is free of all vehicles. Upon check-in, you're greeted with a refreshing juice and sorbet in the open-air lobby. That's the one and only time, though, I'm going to refer to anything as open air, because quite literally, this entire resort is open air. Behind the reception area is the primary restaurant, which we'll take a closer look at later in the tour. Note every day they update the activity board with any free activities and the shuttle bus times offered during that day. Now, I'm sure there are more than a few of you that clicked on this video because you saw the word perfect somewhere. Well, it's not clickbait. This is the highest rated resort I've ever reviewed, including the 25 or so resorts I have in queue to be published on YouTube. The key to enjoying Mango Bay, though, is understanding what to expect, and understanding that it all comes at an incredible value. Originally opened in 2002, the resort features only 44 bungalows spread across 10 hectares of land with around 600 meters of absolutely pristine coastline. Mango Bay was recently recognized by The Guardian as one of the top 10 sustainable resorts in all of Southeast Asia. As described by one of its founders, Dominique Scriven, when the resort was recently featured in Travel + Leisure magazine, Mango Bay's, quote, original vision was a low-density development, driven passion for the environment, intelligent use of materials, and commitment to the island culture. We don't consider ourselves an eco-resort, and are sensitive to the fact that in many areas we still face challenges. Having said that, if you look around Phu Quoc, there don't seem to be many as seriously engaged in the mission, unquote. The latter part, he is spot on. Phu Quoc has seen an unprecedented surge in development in the past 5 or 10 years, with the construction of big-name 5-star resorts quickly outpacing infrastructure development on the island. Personally, I see this as growing pains in a developing economy, which will eventually sort themselves out as Phu Quoc's brand continues to grow. The beginning of Mr. Scriven's statement, though, is a massive and humble understatement. Let's just walk through a fraction of the sustainable initiatives and practices taking place here. No rooms have phones, TVs, or air conditioning. More on that later. You won't find single-use plastics anywhere. All bulbs are low wattage. All hot water is solar heated. They use cooling boxes instead of traditional refrigeration in the kitchens. They have a first of its kind on the island gray water recycling system that doubles as irrigation for their own tree nursery and vegetable garden. They compost all organic matter. Over 80% of their staff are from the island. They make almost all of their own furniture on site. I could literally keep going, but I think you're starting to see something that's coming clear. Mango Bay is truly different. It's not just talk. And the difference lies in this. You will never feel like you're at a quote-unquote 3-star eco resort. The service from reception to the restaurant to the security guards is friendly and genuine. The restaurant and bar truly serve some of the best food on the island. The bungalows are spacious and comfortable, and the grounds are beautiful and impeccably maintained. Here we are at my Sea View Plantation Bungalow. How much did I pay? Around $55 per night. Every hotel or resort that I review, I pay for at publicly available prices. But I never mention them in the review because rarely are they as relevant as this price is to this resort. When COVID's over, yes, this price will probably go up, but it will be relative to the market and it will still be a truly incredible value. Possibly the best resort value in all of Vietnam. The furnishings inside the bungalows are simple but comfortable. The 4-poster bed has a cooling system, and the minibar is stocked with reasonably priced glass bottles and cans. Note they also supply complimentary glass bottles of purified water, which are at the bottom of the cooler, and offer French presses to make coffee from the water pitcher that's already filled up. It's thoughtful little touches like this that make the whole 3-star thing hard to believe. Even if you shut all of the doors and windows at night, the vents under the rafters provide plenty of air circulation. But depending on the time of the year, using the mosquito net is probably advisable. The Plantation bungalows have a writing desk with insect coils tucked underneath, along with a decent amount of open-plan storage space, with umbrellas, slippers, beach bags, and extension cords all in easy reach. Alright, now let's take a moment to talk about the cooling system used in the rooms. I wanted to make a point of this as there isn't a ton of information available out there about how it actually works. Each bed had an evening breeze bed space cooling system, which you can also Google if you'd like more technical information about it. Basically though, it's a very low wattage air cooler that, especially with the mosquito net down, does a decent job of cooling the air specifically around the bed. Note, this is not a swamp cooler. It's not going to make things more humid or damp, nor is it blowing air on you. The center section of the canopy is cool to the touch, and it evenly dispersed the cool air over the bed. Is it the same thing as AC? No. But as someone who loves AC, I can honestly say I did have a comfortable sleep. Besides the cooling system, the room also has 3 mounted fans plus a floor fan, which you can move around as you please. Onto the bathroom now, which is outdoors. You'll notice there are no excess amenities like toothbrushes and such, but they are available. When you check in, they'll ask you exactly what you need. Otherwise, the bathroom has everything that you would need, and it's a convenient and discreet sunny spot to hang up wet clothes if you have some in the afternoon. The only point I take off for this room is because of the poor water pressure. Finally, moving to the front porch, you're fully set up with a table and chairs as well as a pair of benches to lounge on. The walk from my bungalow to the water is a short one. Note, Mango Bay doesn't have a pool. I know. To some people that might be a deal breaker. But when you see the water, I think you might understand why it's not all that necessary. The resort is unofficially split in two, half north of the reception area and the other half south. My bungalow is on the far south side. On this side, the coastline is rocky and not great for swimming, regardless of how beautiful it is to look at. But the north side does have some great swimming beaches. As for the rest of this clip, just enjoy how beautiful the coastline is. Now, I've lived in Vietnam for years. I'm very well aware that we are not in the Maldives, we are not in the Seychelles. But honestly, how much more crystal clear could the water be? I've been to many resorts on the island, and this is the most pristine water I've seen. And I don't think that this was just a lucky day. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll note that I'm leaving in a lot more of the walking scenes than I normally do, and not speeding them up. Why? As cheesy as it sounds, that's kinda what Mango Bay is all about. A slower pace, soaking up nature. And so this video hopefully shows that off as well. At the far south end of the property, there are also some loungers set up, but again, the main area is on the north side, which is probably why I prefer it here. As we make our way up to the spa, you can see the resort's only attached accommodations, which all share an expansive terrace with hammocks and sea views. But honestly, for a relatively really small amount more, you could book your own bungalow, which is 100% what I would do. The spa, which was recently renovated, is breezy and all centered around the central courtyard. I know some might be turned off because the treatment rooms aren't air conditioned, but hear me out. When your body adjusts to the temperature after a day or so of no AC, not only will you not mind, say, having a massage without AC, you'll notice that you probably even enjoy it more because your muscles and your whole body are warmed up already and not tight from the cold air. Okay, now we're on the north side of the resort where there are more sandy beaches. I must say I didn't put this boat here, but you can't argue that it did make for a great shot. On to the sunset, drinks, and dinner. The restaurant truly has one of the best sunset views on the entire island. Even if you're staying at the resort though, reservations are essential for one of the front row tables on the water's edge. You can either reserve from 5 to 7 or 7 to 9, the earlier of which is what you need if you want to see the sunset. But I assure you, this is not just a place with a great view. The food is really incredible. The seafood was fresh as can be, and the off-menu special, tamarind grouper, was really spectacular. Note also, prices for food and drinks are just normal, reasonable restaurant prices. And if you're lucky like me, you'll get an incredible thunderstorm to enjoy from your terrace after dinner. The next morning, we head back to the restaurant for breakfast, but we can also take a closer look at the interior and also what these front row tables actually look like. Just as a note, the sun sets off to the right side over the rocks. Breakfast consists of a set menu of breads, pastries, yogurt, fruit, coffee, and juice, with your choice of a main additional dish. Again, this is light years beyond what you'd expect from an included 3-star breakfast. Before we head over to take a look at their gardens, I just wanted to give you a peek at their true swimming beach on the north side of the property. It was early morning when I shot this clip, so the loungers and such weren't set up yet. And finally, we make it to their groups of nurseries and farms. Here they grow everything from herbs and peppercorns to vegetables that they use in the restaurants. Hopefully by now, you can see Mango Bay is not just a typical 3-star resort. As strange as it may sound, if I had to compare it to another property in Vietnam, it would be Six Senses Ninh Văn Bay. Now, I know it sounds a bit absurd considering Six Senses is 10 to 20 times more per night, but in reality, they both have similar pursuits. At the most basic level, Six Senses essentially shows their guests how you can enjoy nature in an ultra-luxe setting in a sustainable way. On the other hand, Mango Bay Resort shows their guests how to enjoy nature in a comfortable setting while having the smallest possible impact on the environment. Both are worthy pursuits, and both, in my opinion, are fantastic places to visit. That said though, Mango Bay Resort truly is the one place that proves you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a holiday to enjoy the best of what Phu Quoc and Vietnam as a whole has to offer. Even more so than usual, I really do hope you enjoyed this tour of Mango Bay Resort in Phu Quoc, Vietnam. If you did and want to see a whole lot more content coming, please subscribe and stay tuned for the flip-flop score.